Stress is a normal part of life. It's something everyone experiences at some point or another. It's our body's natural response to challenges and demands. Whether it's a looming deadline or a difficult decision, stress signals our body to prepare for action. When we perceive a threat, our brain triggers a cascade of physiological changes. This is an automatic response that has evolved over millions of years. These changes prepare us to either fight the threat or flee from it. This is a survival mechanism that has helped humans endure through the ages. This is often called the fight-or-flight response. It's a powerful reaction that can make the difference between life and death. Stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol flood our system. These hormones are crucial for mobilizing energy and sharpening our senses. Our heart rate and breathing speed up. This ensures that more oxygen reaches our muscles and brain, preparing us for quick action. Muscles tense, and our senses sharpen. We become hyper-aware of our surroundings, ready to respond to any immediate danger. This response is essential for survival in dangerous situations. It can mean the difference between escaping unharmed or facing serious consequences. However, in today's fast-paced world, we often experience stress even when there's no real danger. Our bodies react the same way to modern stressors as they would to ancient threats. Work deadlines, relationship problems, and financial worries can all trigger this stress response. These everyday challenges can keep our stress levels elevated. Over time, chronic stress can have detrimental effects on our physical and mental health. It can lead to issues like anxiety, depression, and even heart disease. It's important to remember that not all stress is bad. In fact, some stress can be beneficial. Short-term stress can actually be motivating. It can push us to meet deadlines, solve problems, and achieve our goals. It can help us focus, perform better, and even boost our immune system. The key is to balance stress and ensure it doesn't become overwhelming. The key is to manage stress effectively and prevent it from becoming chronic. Techniques like mindfulness, exercise, and relaxation can help keep stress in check. Welcome to the Academy of Vitality and Health. Here, we focus on helping you live healthier, teach you about your health and body, feel amazing, and improve your lifestyle. Let's discover a healthier, happier life together. Trauma, unlike stress, is not a normal part of life. It's an emotional response to a deeply distressing or disturbing event. These events overwhelm our ability to cope and leave us feeling powerless and afraid. Trauma can stem from a single incident, like a car accident or a violent assault. It can also result from prolonged exposure to traumatic experiences, such as childhood abuse or war. Traumatic events shatter our sense of safety and security. They can leave us feeling vulnerable, frightened, and unable to trust others. Trauma can manifest in a variety of ways, including flashbacks, nightmares, anxiety, and depression. Unlike stress, which subsides once the perceived threat is gone, trauma's effects can linger for years or even decades. The memories of the traumatic event become etched in our minds and bodies, often resurfacing in unexpected and debilitating ways. There's a common misconception that stress inevitably leads to trauma. This misunderstanding can cause unnecessary fear and confusion. While chronic stress can certainly increase our vulnerability to developing mental health issues, including post-traumatic stress disorder, it doesn't mean that every stressful situation will result in trauma. It's crucial to understand that stress and trauma are distinct experiences. They may intersect, but they are not the same. Stress is a normal physiological and psychological response to challenging situations. It can even be beneficial in small doses, helping us to stay alert and motivated. It's a natural part of life and doesn't necessarily result in long-term negative consequences. Many people find ways to manage stress effectively through various coping strategies. Trauma, on the other hand, is a deeply distressing experience that overwhelms our coping mechanisms and leaves lasting psychological wounds. It can be triggered by events such as accidents, natural disasters, or personal assaults. Trauma is not just an event that happened in the past. It is also the imprint left by that experience on mind, brain, and body, says renowned trauma expert Dr. Bessel van der Kolk. This imprint can manifest in various ways, including flashbacks, anxiety, and emotional numbness. This imprint can continue to affect our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors long after the traumatic event has passed. It can disrupt daily life and relationships, making it difficult to function normally. It's essential to differentiate between stress and trauma to ensure that individuals receive appropriate support and treatment. Proper diagnosis is key to effective intervention and recovery. Confusing the two can lead to misdiagnosis and ineffective interventions. Understanding the difference helps in providing the right care and support for those in need. To understand the impact of stress on the brain, it's helpful to visualize a cascade of chemical reactions. When we encounter a stressful situation, our amygdala, the brain's fear center, sends a distress signal to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus then activates the sympathetic nervous system, triggering the release of adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline, the fight-or-flight hormone, increases our heart rate, elevates blood pressure, and boosts energy supplies. Cortisol, the stress hormone, helps the body mobilize energy stores and enhances alertness. In the short term, these physiological changes are adaptive, helping us cope with the perceived threat. However, prolonged exposure to stress hormones can have detrimental effects on the brain. Chronic stress can impair memory and learning, suppress the immune system, and increase the risk of developing mental health disorders. The scars of trauma extend far beyond the initial event, often lingering for years or even a lifetime. It leaves an indelible mark on both the mind and body, altering our perceptions, emotions, and even our physical health. The impact is profound and multifaceted. Traumatic experiences can disrupt the delicate balance of neurochemicals in the brain, leading to a cascade of long-term consequences. This disruption can affect mood, behavior, and overall mental well-being. One of the most significant ways trauma affects the brain is by impairing the hippocampus, a region responsible for memory and learning. This impairment can lead to difficulties in forming new memories and recalling past events accurately. The hippocampus helps us distinguish between past and present experiences, allowing us to navigate our lives with a sense of continuity and coherence. However, trauma can disrupt this process, making it difficult to differentiate between real and perceived threats. This can lead to heightened anxiety and a constant state of vigilance. Traumatized people often feel chronically unsafe in their bodies, explains Dr. van der Kolk. This pervasive sense of danger can be overwhelming and debilitating. They may experience physical symptoms such as headaches, muscle tension, digestive problems, or chronic pain. These symptoms are the body's way of manifesting the unresolved trauma. These physical manifestations of trauma are often a reflection of the body's inability to regulate emotions and manage stress effectively. Healing requires addressing both the mind and the body, creating a holistic approach to recovery. Navigating the spectrum. Individual responses to stress and trauma. It's crucial to recognize that responses to stress and trauma vary significantly from person to person. Factors such as genetics, early childhood experiences, personality traits, and social support networks can all influence how we perceive and cope with adversity. some individuals possess a naturally resilient disposition, allowing them to bounce back from challenging experiences with relative ease. Others may be more susceptible to the negative effects of stress and trauma, developing anxiety, depression, or other mental health issues. There's no right or wrong way to respond to stress or trauma. What matters most is recognizing our own individual thresholds and seeking support when needed. Understanding our unique vulnerabilities and coping mechanisms can empower us to navigate life's challenges more effectively. Media misconceptions. Blurring the lines between stress and trauma. In today's media-saturated world, the terms stress and trauma are often used interchangeably, contributing to widespread confusion and misunderstanding. Sensationalized headlines and oversimplified portrayals of mental health issues can trivialize the profound impact of trauma and perpetuate harmful stereotypes. It's essential to approach media portrayals of stress and trauma with a critical eye. Seek out credible sources of information and be wary of generalizations. Remember that every individual's experience is unique and should be treated with sensitivity and respect. By promoting accurate information and challenging misconceptions, we can help create a more informed and compassionate society that supports individuals struggling with the effects of stress and trauma. Taming the beast within strategies for effective stress management. While we can't always control the stressors in our lives, we can learn to manage our responses to them more effectively. Developing healthy coping mechanisms is crucial for mitigating the negative impacts of stress and preventing it from escalating into more serious mental health concerns. Engaging in regular physical activity is one of the most effective ways to combat stress. Exercise releases endorphins, which have mood-boosting effects. It also helps to reduce levels of stress hormones like cortisol. Other helpful stress management techniques include mindfulness meditation, deep breathing exercises, spending time in nature, and nurturing supportive relationships. Prioritizing self-care activities that bring us joy and relaxation can also significantly improve our ability to cope with stress. A call to awareness. Recognizing the distinction and seeking support. Understanding the distinction between stress and trauma is essential for promoting mental well-being and ensuring that individuals receive appropriate support. Recognizing the signs and symptoms of both conditions is crucial for early intervention and effective treatment. If you're struggling with overwhelming stress or the lingering effects of trauma, please know that you're not alone. Reaching out for professional help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Therapists and mental health professionals can provide a safe and supportive space to process your experiences, develop healthy coping mechanisms, and begin the journey toward healing. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's a courageous step towards reclaiming your life and embracing a brighter future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more health and vitality advice.